I'm the one who has to smell it up here.
Flour, eggs, water, oil, all innocent ingredients on their own. But when combined, they are creating America's next addiction pandemic, breadophilia. I'm Larry Jackson, the fourth and the final, presenting to you my latest expose on this phenomenon here on 6 Minutes. Today, featuring 2 extra minutes. Because with a story like this, you need extra time. So, let's go ahead and start this off by asking you, how are you?
I'm doing well. As well as I could be at a time like this.
How am I any day?
You're not going to give him my real name, right?
No. We're going to refer to you as Mr. Blue.
Good. Because it's not like I have a job or anything like that, but if I did, or if I get one, this would look pretty bad.
What got you into the bread?
That's a loaded question. I think it was March 1997. I was baking with my grandmother one summer evening, and I fell into a big pot of flour, and I was in pure bliss.
I just have always loved bread.
Well, I was raised by a bread man. Ever since I was a boy, he would, it's hard to talk about sometimes.
So here's a Chinese riddle for you. Why don't you just stop eating bread?
I realized that bread became a problem when I emptied out my local bake shop. And to fulfill that need, I went to a wheat field and started grazing.
What? I'm sorry, keep going. I'm sorry. That won't happen again.
I was more animal than man.
This is actually a very hard thing for me to speak about. It's the reason my wife left me. She had just come home from the grocery store with 4 fresh baked loaves of bread. I opened them one by one and I ate every single piece, and I was still hungry for more.
You a sick bitch, huh?
Well, you see, I went to the doctor about 5 years ago, and he told me that I was malnourished. I thought, how could I be malnourished? I'm 5'2", 220 pounds, very healthy weight. What's wrong with that? And he said, well, it seems you're not getting the proper nutrients. I suggested multivitamin and also vegetables. And I was like, what? He also said I had gotten scurvy, which I thought was just for pirates.
What steps have you taken, if any, to wean yourself off of the bread?
Well, I tried weaning myself off the bread for many, many years with no success. I tried taking up cigarettes. I tried taking up cocaine to get myself off the bread. I figured any addiction would be better than this addiction. I tried rolling around in chemical waste to give myself a gluten allergy. Nothing seemed to work. Well, first thing I did, like I told you, I went to my physician, and he recommended a dietitian. So I went to the dietitian, and he said, you need to stop with the bread. You gotta slow down on the bread, maybe even cut it out altogether. And, of course, my first thought was, no! Of course not! No! Listen, a lot of times I ask myself, can I ever change? Will I ever see my family again? Will I ever redeem myself or be sustainably employed? Do I have a future? Will I ever lose my virginity? I ask myself these things every day. And I think the answer is no.
Are you on the bread right now?
Next question.
I actually have bread in my pocket as we speak.
Was there ever anything in between the bread while you were eating it?
The only thing ever between me and the bread was my wife and children. I have never put anything between the bread. My mom tried to give me a bologna sandwich when I was 8, and I threw up.
I've always considered myself somewhat of an imaginative person. So I would always take 2 pieces of bread and just imagine the most delicious thing in between. But the hardest problem I've faced in my life is the most delicious thing I've ever had is bread. So when I'm eating 2 pieces of bread, I imagine I'm eating 2 pieces of bread.
Did the money for your bread ever run out?
No. I'm what they call a trust fund baby. And I have wasted millions of dollars of my grandfather's inheritance on bread and bread-like products.
I mean, yeah, it's out. Yeah, I ran out of money. I got nothing. I got absolutely nothing.
So how does your family, in particular your wife, deal with your struggle with breadophilia?
I wish I knew. Why don't you tell me? You know about as much as me.
Like I said before, after my wife came home with those freshly baked loaves of bread and I inhaled them oh so quickly, I lost my family. I don't even know where they are today.
Well, I haven't seen my sons in about 6 months. I've been blinded by the bread, like a sheet of dough has been placed over my eyes. My wife left me for a Spanish man half my age. He goes by the name of Ricardo.
Who? Sorry about that, but please continue.
The last time I saw my wife and kids, they were on a boat headed towards West Germany. I told them that's not accessible by water. They said, we don't care. We need to be away from you and your baked goods. My wife read me a poem, and it's as I state. To the one I loved the most, the thing you would always boast was how you didn't like roast. The only thing I could feed you was toast. What I love most about you is nothing anymore.
Ugh. Sorry.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
When I walked past your desk, I noticed there's some toast points left in your desk drawer. On the top left, I believe. Can I have those? Are you going to finish them?
Well, Mr. Green, that's part of my lunch.
It's part of my identity.
Honestly, I live in fear, constantly looking over my shoulder because I borrowed more loaves than I could ever repay. Loaves and loaves and loaves. So I started going to Fakasha Frankie's Paradise for dough loans. It's a bakery, he's a murderer, and I'm in hiding. So far, all he's done is toss me in a van a couple times and beat me for like 15 minutes. But I know one of these days he's gonna kill me.
You see, honestly, the thing I'm most afraid of is Fakasha Frankie. I owe him so much dough, I know I'll never pay it back.
You know, I get most of my bread from Fakasha Frankie's Paradise. It's great because, you know, sometimes my trust fund doesn't kick in until the 1st and the 15th. He'll give me a loan on some loaves, and he's a pretty swell guy all around. Makes a great Fakasha.
So by him giving you these breads, he's just fueling your addiction. I'm gonna find him, and I'm gonna expose him, because that's what I do. I'm an exposer. And if that ain't true, my name ain't Larry Jackson the fourth in the final. Finally found him. It is currently 12:02 a.m. in Chicago, Illinois, and we are going to knock on the door to see if we can't get some information about the addictions he's been spreading around my town and around my city.
What? Who is it?
He's here. He's coming out.
The fuck do you want? I'm out here fucking baking my dough.
Hello.
Who are you? What's with the suit?
Hello, my name is Larry Jackson the fourth in the
Larry
final.
Jackson, that means nothing to me. You ever said nothing.
I just got a few questions for you about the bread that you're making up right there.
It's
Actually,
good. It's delicious bread. What do you want? You want some?
It
Here,
looks
come in,
lovely.
come in.
It looks lovely. I'd love some. I'll
Why
take whatever you
come
got.
back door this time of night?
People love your bread so much that they're giving and they're wasting their lives over it. And you don't feel bad at all?
Who wastes lives on their bread? Who wastes it? You're wasting your life on bread right now. You're coming into my bakery, wasting your life.
Mr.
And you're telling me
Fakasha.
I'm wasting your life.
Mr. Fakasha.
What?
You know, I really think that you might be putting something in the bread that's making the people come back a little bit more often than they need to.
Right, a little bit of spice.
Ay, no, that's not good.
What's wrong with the spice? You don't like the spices?
You know, I think that's a certain spice that might be a little bit more habit forming.
Habit forming? What do you mean habit forming? We're gonna fucking what? I'm gonna swing from the walls like Spider-Man? What kind of habits? Like, get that mic out of my face.
Mr. Fakasha.
What?
Anything can be habit forming done enough.
How is that my problem? I'm the one forming the habits. I'm the one eating the bread. They're the one eating the bread. I put the best spices in here. See this? You ever have one of these, huh?
Oh!
Eat that. Eat my fucking muffins, bitch.
You know, I would, but I'm scared I'm gonna come back and be addicted like Mr. Blue and Mr. Green out there.
Mr. Blue, Mr. Green, what kind of false anonymous bullshit name is that? Oh, get that mic out of my face. What is this?
Listen, if my name ain't Larry Jackson the fourth in the final, I will stop you on creating all that bread causing these addictions.
Larry Jackson the fourth.
And the final.
From 6 minutes?
From 6 minutes.
You know what? Get the fuck out of my bakery. Get the fuck out of my
I just want to ask a few more questions. I just got a few more questions.
Yeah,
I got a few more questions.
What has a few more questions for your ass?
Please.
Get this fucking dough out of here.
Please.
You ruined my dough.
Focaccia.
Fucking dough out of here.
Oh!
What the fuck do you think this is? Some kind of bakery for animals or apes? What are we doing here?
Focaccia, you cannot be a litter bug and cause addictions all over this city.
All over the
Oh!
fucking city.
Oh!
What do you think you're doing here?
Oh!
What are you? Watch your get some.
Mr. Focaccia, I just wanted to ask you a few questions.
Give me that mic. I'm out of here. I'm taking your mic too. It's my mic now. Get your own. You know what else is expensive? My time. Get the fuck out of here. And you get that camera off my goddamn porch.
So what have you learned and what have I learned? I don't know. But the one thing I do know is Focaccia Frankie, he's one big dick and he smokes inside.